children can dig a school garden in 8 days? How many children can dig the same garden in 4 days? You write it. 2 children can dig a garden in 8 days. The children can dig a garden in 8 days. How many children can dig the same garden? How many children can dig the same garden? Can dig the same garden in 4 days. So try out that number very fast as we are waiting for our colleagues to join us. That is about ratios and proportions. Let us try it out as we are waiting for our colleagues to join us. Hathi, let us try out that question that I've read. Let me change the gadget and share my screen.
Teacher, please can you read the question again?
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, let me change the gadget in just 2 minutes, then I share my screen. Lynette, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. There is a question about ratios and proportions, like we learned them last time, we discussed about them. There are some key points that we also came up with, like the higher the labor, the less the time required, and very many others. So there is a number that we are trying out this morning as we wait for our colleagues to join us. We are trying out this number here, and each one of us is going to share how they've done it. Because all options are correct. So let me share, I'm going to share my screen. Let me share my screen shortly. There is a question here on the screen about proportions. This is the question that I want us to try out. I think someone has already completed. Just trying because we're looking at proportions. So when I came across that number, I decided to bring it so that we can share the ideas on how best we can do it. Someone has completed. Hafi, how far have you gone?
Teacher, I'm still working it out.
Okay. Lynette, how far? We are working out on the number one. This number two, we shall leave it, we shall do it in our own time, but not now. So let us work out. We are working out on the number one. Lynette, are you done? Okay. Not yet. Okay, we are waiting. How many more minutes do you need? I think 1 minute is enough for us to complete this work. We're working out only one number. Hafi, how far have you gone?
Teacher, I'm getting a bit confused.
Yes, please.
I'm not understanding how to work out this thing.
Okay. But had you written down something and you got stuck somewhere?
I'm just completely, I don't know what to do here.
Okay, you'll share with us only the first step, then I'll share the next step on your behalf. Lynette, can I know how far you're moving? Lynette, how far are you moving? Hey, Lynette, just respond, please. Don't fear responding. You should remain with that confidence in you. Share with me how far you've gone. Okay, Lynette says, I keep making mistakes I don't understand. And one thing we are going to do, I want us to share our first steps, what you thought about first, then from there we shall integrate and help each other on how to work out such a number if it happens to appear in ratios and proportions. Like since it is our unit we've been doing and we've been covering, I expect us, by the time we complete and handle the assignment attached there, we are in position to work out such numbers, regardless of which kind of proportion it is. Because last time we looked at direct and inverse proportion. So this one here is inverse proportion. We looked at some number, but we shall not dwell so much in the past. Let us mind about the present because it builds us a lot. So Lynette, I'm giving you this opportunity to share first with us what you thought about first, and then from there we can integrate and look for a solution for each number. Because remember, each problem has a solution, regardless of how big and when you find the solution. But truth be told, at the end of the day, you will have a solution, regardless of how long you take. Because some of us may take a lot of time looking for a solution, but still we come up with a solution. Enable your mic, Lynette. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. You share yours. All right. So Lynette is going to share her screen and she will take us through the first step. Ambrose, you went off, but we had shared this first number here because it is about proportions. This is inverse proportions because we looked at direct and inverse last time. When I came across these two numbers, I decided to bring them on board so that we can all try them out for our own benefit. We are looking once Lynette is going to share a screen how she interpreted the question, what she thought about first, then we can go on. Thank you. Yes, Lynette, I've stopped sharing so you can share also and take us through. Lynette, we shall be glad if you speak something as you're trying to work out. So you said something that now here when I read, you can read for us the question first and you tell us how you came up with that idea of picking the children first. I'll be glad. We shall be glad because we're a group now.
Two children can dig a garden in 8 days. How many children can dig the same garden in 4 days?
Yes, Lynette, we are following.
I got stuck there.
You got stuck there. Okay, thank you so much. At least we've seen, because she has read to ask the question and that's what she managed to come up. She realized that the two children took 8 days. So from there, that's where she ended. But I know by the end of this, she'll be in position to work out more and more different numbers. Okay, then Hathy, can we also see, can you share with us how far you went and where you got stuck from so that we can know what the real cause is? Yes, Hathy, it's your turn, please. What I'm sure of, at least you read the question. So can you read to us that question at least? Then we can start from there. Sorry, my PC is, my battery is getting down. Let me just try a little bit to change the gadget. So Hathy, you can share with us meanwhile. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Finally, I thought it had failed. So Hathy, tell us what you thought about in the first place when you read that question. Together.
I also got stuck where we got stuck in some.
You got stuck from, you ended where Lynette also ended. Okay. So when we receive such a question, one, you should know what you read the question, one of the steps, just read and interpret it in any language that you understand better. What you should already think about in the first place, let me share my screen still and we check this question here. Let me share my screen. All right. So Hathy, just read for us this question here, number 1 only.
2 children can dig a garden in 8 days. How many children can dig the same garden in 4 days?
What are you, when you read such a question, what comes in your mind? Do you expect the number of children to become less than 2 or higher than 2? Because if you remember, wow, perfect. So, because remember last time we said that the higher the labor, the less the time they take. And when you look at this question here, when you look at the question they've given us, it shows that they are giving us, they want the number of children that can dig the same garden in 4 days. Remember, 4 is less than 8. That means the number of children will increase. Let me share my whiteboard, I think, and it will show. Then we try to work out. but I can still use this. No, let me use the whiteboard, it will be better. Let me use this. Okay. So when you have this, remember they've told us that two children dig the garden, dig in 8 days. Two children dig in 8 days, but they don't know which number of children can dig the same garden in 4 days. So whenever you have such, yes, remember for the labor, a part is missing. When you move at the time, when you look at the side of the time, we have everything. We have the 8 days, we have the 4 days. So you start with what you have. So here we shall say, we shall start with the 4 days. We shall start with the 8 days. Oh, let me just use the text, okay? We shall say 8 days. In 8 days, two children clear the garden, yes? Then you come back here and say, if we know the number of children who clear the garden in 8 days, what about in 1 day? How many children will clear that garden? For us to get the value for the children to clear, for how many children will clear that garden, what comes in your mind? Will the children who will clear the garden in 8 days, in 1 day, be less than 2 or higher than 2? Because the days are less, the time is less. What do you expect will happen to the labor we are going to use? Yes, Lynette. Lynette?
Yes.
If we have the time as 1 day, what will happen to the labor? Will it be less or higher?
Less.
So if two children can dig in 8 days, can one child dig in 1 day? Just imagine.
No.
Yeah. So what do you expect will happen? Will the number of children be higher or they'll be less than the 2?
So we
Higher.
Wow. So if you have 1 day, so for us to get the number of children to dig in 8 days, in 1 day, and they complete the same garden, we shall say 8 times 2. And the answer here will be in, and here we shall get the number of children that will dig in. We shall get the children that will dig in 1 day. That will be 16 children. So after getting the number of children in 1 day, so we can come back here and pick, what about in 4 days? How many children shall we need? In 4 days, we shall need 16 we shall need 16 divided by 16 divided by the number of days we want these children to dig, because we are dividing now because we expect the labor to be less. Yes?
Yes.
So this will be the children to dig in. This will be the children. This will be the children to dig in. To dig the same garden in 4 days. So when we divide 16 divided by 4, what do we get? Happy?
4.
We get 4. So we shall have, thank you. So we shall have 4 children to clear that same garden. You may not write 16 out of 4 this way. You can also write it, you can say 16 divided by 4. Yes, please. You're saying something? Yes, Lynette, are you saying something?
No?
So here we shall have the answer as still 4 children to clear the same piece of land in 4 days. What you should always remember and put at the back of your mind when you're dealing with proportions, the higher the labor, the less the time required. Yes? All the higher the speed, all the higher the labor, the higher your input, and the higher you're investing in something, the less time you will require to do something. For example, here you find that when these children were to dig, when they were 2, they could only dig for 8 days. But when when we wanted them to clear the garden in 1 day, they became 16. Yes? And now we want for them to clear in 4 days. They will be less and they'll become 4. So the higher the labor, the less the days required. Because you find that 8 days, 2 children, the labor is less. 1 day, the labor is high. It becomes 16. In 4 days, you'll have 4 children here. Unless we have a question. So I think we can now work out the second number there about ratios and proportions as well. Have you noted down something?
Yes.
Lynette, have you noted down something?
Yes.
If you have a question, you can ask. Okay, may you give us a question where we have to find the number of children? All right. That one is the other direct one. This one is inverse. But we can also have such a question. So let us first note down this second question also. We try to work out, and we are going to share our findings, okay? Let me first move back to the second question. So we have this. Lynette, you want the one where you look for the number of days required for the same number of children to dig the same garden. Okay, so here we have 20 builders can take 90 days to construct a school building. How many days will 60 builders need? I think this, Lynette, suits your question. You can try
Yes.
this one here. Because here you're looking for the number of days the 60 builders will take. So you can try that one as well. As I type the other one, so that we can also try it out. Okay, Lynette says she wants some explanation about when you're looking for the children. We are going to see such a number, but let us first try number 2. Let us also try out number 2. So Lynette, Hatsi, how far have you gone? Hatsi?
Teacher, I'm confused somewhere.
Yes, please.
I got confused at some point. Let me try. Let me try and I see if I can finish
Okay,
the
so
number.
yeah, this number here is quite different from the first one, because here you're looking for the first one we're looking for the labor, but the second one we are looking for the time taken. Yes, and we say that you start with what you have and end with what you're missing. And this is the number Lynette is trying to say. That teacher, could you explain to us the other one if we are looking for the number of girls? So I can work out this one here, then I'll give you questions 3 and 4, and you'll do them in your own time, okay? But I'll need the feedback in the group. Is it okay?
Yes.
All right. So let me share my screen again. I hope you can see my screen. I don't need to share it again. Have you noted down the question first so that you can read it in case we are responding to it?
Yes.
All right. Let me check the second part. Let me use this one that is playing. Esther, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. Ambrose, you're on and off. Sorry for that. But we are looking at proportions. That's both indirect and direct. Like we shared last time about some of them. And right now we are trying out these numbers here as we apply the knowledge we got last time. We looked at the first question, and I hope there you joined us as we're trying to see how best we can do it. Then we have this other question on board that we are trying to work out, because these are 2 numbers that require different approach, because one is inverse and another one is direct. So I want us to try them out. Happy says, teacher, I'm stuck somewhere. Lynette, I don't know, Lynette, what you're saying. Esther, may you, if you have an idea, share with us, and Ambrose as well. Ambrose, do you have an idea from what we learned last time? Wow, Hattie says, teacher, I tried and got an answer. Wow. Okay, Hattie, that's good. Esther, Have you tried out this number? Hello. All ideas are welcome. Let us not get scared that how will it be? If I say this that is so correct, we shall be glad. Ambrose, do you have an idea? Ambrose, do you have an idea? Oh, Lynette says, I got stuck after one step, that is 20 builders and 90 days. So yeah, Lynette, continue. So you look for one builder, yes? If one, now you need to ask yourself a question. If 20 take 90 days, will one builder take less than 90 days? The less the labor, the higher the days. That means they will call for multiplication. Then it keep moving. That step is okay. Let me see here. Ambrose, can I hear from you, please? Ambrose, can I hear from you?
My network was not good and I never saw the first example that you gave us.
No, this other one is from the work we learned, so you can try it out still. Yes, then Esther, can I hear from you? Okay. Okay, Esther. All right, but let me hope you're trying and you're followed as well. So let me first, let us start with Lynette. How far have you gone now? Okay. Lynette, how have you gone? Which step are you on? Can you share with us first? Then Happy will share with us. I can stop sharing my screen, then you can use your whiteboard. Lynette, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So Lynette, you can share your screen and take us through. So Ambrose, Lynette is sharing with us her findings, then we shall listen from Hathy also. And I'll send some more 2 numbers in the group as well. Lynette, you can still speak. When you speak, we follow very well.
Okay.
Lynette, say something. Don't just keep creating. You can tell us that this, you tell us that now here I'm looking for one builder, and this is what I've ought to do, like that.
20. 20 times 90.
Okay. We are following.
First wait and I work it out.
Okay. First, we are waiting. And my friends are also silent, waiting. Yes, Lynette, we are waiting. You can ask us to give you the answers in case. Like there, you can ask someone here. I know Ambrose has already multiplied that and he has already the answer. Ambrose, what's the answer there? Ambrose. What's the answer there? So Lynette, okay. Lynette is still moving on. Then I think you can say something from there before we continue. This one has gone off. Happy has gone off. So Lynette, you can say something from there, please. You're stuck?
Yes.
Okay. So Lynette, thank you. This is a good idea. Like you've got one builder and you've told us, now we are not going to be using equal signs when we are writing in our books. We shall use the equivalence arrows because these are two things that are quite different, but we need to connect them. So we shall not connect them by the equal signs, but we shall connect them with some arrows. So let me also share and from where Lynette has stopped. I don't know whether Hathi is back or she was ready to take us through. Hathi, are you back? Hathi is not yet back, so I can take you through. So like here, how Lynette helped us here. She told us that 20 builders, I'll use letter B. 20 builders take 90 days. 90 days. Then after knowing the 20 builders, we should look for the one builder. How long does the one builder take? Oh, I wanted, let me use a B. The one builder takes, because remember they hire the labor, the less the days, the less the labor, because now the builder is the labor we have. So, and the builder is 1, so we shall have 90 times 20 days. So this will give us, that means this builder will take 1,800 days to clear the place. Then after knowing that, now we are going to look for the 60. If they are 60 builders, how long will they take? So we shall say 60 builders will take 1,800 days, divide by the 60 builders. These are the days they will take. So we can divide, we cancel out the 0, this 0 by this one here. So 6 divided by 6, we get 1. Now 1 divided by 6, we get 0 remainder 1, so it becomes 18. So we have 18 divided by 6, we get 3. Plus 6 divided by 0, it will be a 0. That means that the 60 builders will take 30 days. And thank you so much for picking us this first idea. So the 60 builders will take 30 days. We can also have it just here. We can say 90 times 20 out of the 60 when we are looking for the 60 builders. After this, you don't work out this final answer here. You end there, then you come and use it here. Days, because when you multiply, the number becomes bigger. These are days, so we cancel out a 0 by a 0. 2 divided by 2 get 1. 6 divided by 2 shall get 3. By 3, 1, 3 goes in 9. 3 times in 0, 0, giving us 30 times 1, still giving us 30 days. Thank you so much, each one of us, for participating. I'm going to send some more 2 numbers in the group. Make sure you respond to them, try them out, give them your time, because it is helpful if we keep on trying different numbers. I wish you a nice day. Bye-bye. Hathy, did you get the same answer?
Yes, 100%.
Pardon?
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm going to send you some more 2 numbers. You still try them out. We keep practicing because math is all about practicing. Bye-bye. I wish you a beautiful morning.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Happy, you can leave the meeting and check in your WhatsApp, then join another meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.